thousands of these students who have passed out from ADG and they have been placed either in public sectors or in engineering services. Their viewpoint, I will share today. And what is my experience of learning, teaching, that made myself different and that made this organization different, that also I will share, that will definitely help you to achieve your goal and target. Preparing for the GATE, engineering services or any competitive exam is entirely different than for the semester exams. So your aim is to select yourself. You want to achieve good rank, and for that you have to act differently, plan differently, work differently, and you have to perform differently. So your preparation should be in a different line than what the other students are doing for the same exam. If you don't prepare in the different way, if you don't perform in the different way, then what will be the difference between you and the other candidates who are also writing the same exam? When more than 2 lakh students are appearing in this GATE from your branch, or maybe more than 1 lakh, then you want to be top 1000, top 500, at the end top 100, that means you have to do something different. I will share these 7 steps, and one by one these 7 steps I will explain, and I very confidently say this: if you follow, if not fully, if you follow partially, you will find a lot of change in your performance. I have seen every year many students when they come at ADG, initially they think, what they think? It will be tough to get selection in IES. It will be difficult to get the rank in top 200. But when they pass from here, they are in top 10, they are in top 20, they are in top 30, and they never imagined that they can get this rank. What made different is their efforts. So your efforts will make you different. And if you make it different type of efforts than the others, you will be certainly different. So let me talk about one by one these 7 steps, if I can explain. This is number 1. You need to understand, what you need to understand is 3 things. Number 1, exam. Second, syllabus. And third, yourself. Syllabus or the subjects, I will explain how you have to understand, and yourself, what I mean to say, yourself. What is the significance of this sentence? Exam means you need to know each and every aspect of it. Let us say you are going to face engineering service. So qualification, medical fitness, and the eligibility criteria, cutoff. Apart from that, syllabus. Which area is important, which is not, which is traditional, which is the conventional area, from where you can score more. Within a subject, let us say it is a strength of material. Within that subject of a strength of material, which are the important topics? Maybe shear post bending moment, principal stress, torsion, is more important than the other topics like pressure vessels, like the theories of failure. So this understanding of exam is very important. Normally, you read what we have taught you. But important is you read with different intensity to each topic. One topic which is very important, you read with the intense pressure. You read with the wide coverage. You go with the maximum practice. And the other which is not important, read accordingly, lightly. Some topics are very numerical in nature. Some subjects are also numerical in nature. The questions are totally numerical in exam, like mathematics, like strength of material, like fluid mechanics, where more numerical problems you will find. But when I talk manufacturing engineering, industrial engineering, or I talk about the other theory like material science, approach is different. So when you see the nature of question in the exam, accordingly you have to modify approach of study. So don't read same way all the subject. So you should not generalize the approach of study. You have to specialize the approach of study. For each subject, you have to follow a different approach. Exam, you have to understand. Suppose you are preparing now, but later what will happen? You will face the interview. Then you will face the medical test. And suppose in final medical test you are declared unfit. What will happen? It will be complete disappointment. It will be loss and wastage of time and efforts. So why don't you understand now what are going to be the medical problems? If you know today, you can orient yourself accordingly. Right? So, if I talk about engineering services, there are three prominent medical problems to judgment. What are these? Color vision problem. If you have the color blindness, you will not be recruited for technical posts. You will only get the posts which are general, which are nothing but store services. Indian railway stores you will get, but Indian railway mechanical engineering you will not get. You may get the services which are supply service, inspection service, but MES, military engineering services, ordnance factories, border road organization, railways, not available. So if you have the color blindness, not more than 20 to 30% seats will be available. You must understand this concern. This is constraint and this is a problem genetic which cannot be rectified. It is non-curable disease. It means you have to accept that you have this color blindness. So what are the options open for you? Plan for that. The second problem which often comes is eye power. Normally we think that eye power will not have any difficulty. Yes, it will not have difficulty if the power is less than 6. If the power is more than 6, plus or minus, the same problem. Again 30% around vacancies open, but remaining not open. So if you have the more eye power, you have to plan for those services which are available. You have to plan for those exams where there is not a problem. Recently in the Gazette of 2017, UPSC has made modifications. And now there is a solution of the eye power. If you know that solution, but you don't act timely, that solution is useless. If you get operated LASIK surgery, you may be accepted. But if you get operated within 2-3 months before the medical exam, you will be rejected. So this surgery, if you want to get it done, should be done well in advance. 1 year is advisable, but not less than 6 months before. More than 6 months is advisable. 1 year is the best or more. The reason is that UPSC itself says if you have got LASIK surgery, then all the pros and cons of surgery should be known to us. And that will be possible when it has been done 1 year before your medical test. So those of you who have more than 6 eye power, I will suggest you get it operated through the LASIK surgery. And there are no side effects in today's environment. I am also one of the same category person. I had my eye power 2.5. However, it was not a constraint for the exam. I have been selected thrice and I have been allotted departments. I was qualified. But I got it operated just for the sake of fun. I just wanted that I don't want to wear glasses. And after 7 years of getting this surgery, I don't find any side effects. So in case you are having more power and you are targeting to public sectors or civil services or engineering services, and you think that any department you are going to fit, then you get operated if the power is more than 6. If it is less than 6, not required at all. No problem at all. The third problem which is common in medical tests, that is chronic disease. Any chronic disease which is not curable. It may include hepatitis, asthma. It may also include cancer or hypertension, constantly high blood pressure, which is not being controlled because even using medications. And also some other incurable disease like HIV infections, then you will be declared permanently unfit for all services. However, this chance is very rare chance that such diseases will be there. Right? So if eye power, color blindness is an issue, you have to keep in mind and accordingly you have to plan. In GATE exam, there is certain restriction of the degree percentage. And if you have completed your B.Tech, now you cannot change. You need to understand the concern. GATE does not restrict you to write the exam, even your percentage is less. But when you will use GATE scorecard, then in case you want to go for PSUs, then many public sectors require 65% marks and some public sectors require 60% minimum marks for general and OBC. SCST has 5% relaxation. So 65 some PSUs, 60 some PSUs, and very rare less than 60 for the general OBC. Similarly, if you want to go for the MTech, then all the NITs and most of the IITs, they require 60% for the general and OBC, 55% for SCST. If your marks are less than 60 and you are general or OBC and still your GATE score is excellent, then you have still options, but very less options. Those are IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, ISC Bangalore, and DT Mumbai. These four colleges give more emphasis to GATE score rather than to the degree percentage. But remaining other IITs, including IIT Gandhinagar, IIT Hyderabad, they all require 60% marks. So keep in mind that BTech percentage plays a role, maybe sooner or maybe later. Similarly, when we talk about the GATE score validity, GATE score has wide application. You can utilize in several places. There are more than 25 public sectors which recruit on the basis of GATE score card. And apart from that, you can use in BARC, you can use in ISRO, you can also go for the research and other areas in dual degree program, in PhD program, and also you can go for the University of Singapore. So the GATE applications are wide. GATE scorecard has an increasing importance year by year. Now some multinational companies have also notified that they will recruit on the basis of GATE scorecard. So GATE scorecard becomes a benchmark for exam. They don't conduct separate exam. And they will call on the basis of a score for the interview. But when you talk about the interview and then medical, so interview requires again verbal expression, speaking skills. You need to know the definitions. That is what I am saying. Understand the exam. Exam does not mean to perform only an objective. That is the one stage. But the final stage is to get selection, where you need to express yourself, where you need to speak out. You need to participate in group discussion. And that is why learning is a very comprehensive mechanism. You need to learn the definition. Why I should know the definition of principal stress? Why should I define the theory of machines? Because it may be required in interview. May not be required today, but will be required later. So when we read and study in classes, we keep this aspect also in the mind. Sooner or maybe after 6 months or after 1 year, I will be required to face the interview panel and there I have to express myself. Right? So keep on improving your speaking skills as well, not with the prime focus, but with the secondary focus. Prime aim is to first qualify written exam, because without that you won't reach in the final stage. So when we start talking about the exam, we need to understand several aspects. GATE scorecard is valid for 3 years, everybody knows. But when we talk about public sectors, then this is only 1 year validity. Public sectors require fresh GATE score of the same year. You cannot apply on the basis of 2018 GATE score in 2019 PSUs. Similarly, public sectors impose a restriction. What restriction? GATE paper and BTech disciplines should be same. Then only you are eligible for PSUs. What I mean, if you are BTech in production and industrial, you have to face the GATE exam by the P&I branch. But if you write with the mechanical, you can take admission in MTech, but you can't appear in the PSUs. Public sector say, if you apply in ONGC, there are separate seats for mechanical, separate for the production and industrial. So those PI students who are BTech in P&I and GATE P&I, they are eligible. You are not eligible. So don't cross the stream if the prime aim is PSUs. This normally the information is not known to you. So whenever there is the notification of exam, read each and every aspect of notification. Read also the future requirements of that particular exam, and also understand this important syllabus. Sometimes we study that what has been taught by teachers, but you never know if something is extra which has been added this year, or something is not in the syllabus which has been taught by teacher. Maybe because teacher is teaching with the aim that you want to write GATE and IES both, but your prime aim is only GATE. GATE is a subset of the IES syllabus. Maybe some areas which are not required for GATE. So why you put more energy in reading and solving those problems which are not relevant? Better to modify your approach as per the examination. Very closely, if you observe examination, read past 5-6 years question papers. First I am telling read, then I will tell solve. Solving and reading are two different tasks. When you read the previous IES questions, their GATE questions, then you will be able to understand from which topic, what kind of questions, whether theory based or numerical based. Whether more questions from this chapter or less number of questions from this chapter. So I should be focused to theory or I should be focused to practice. Should I give more time to this chapter or should I give less time to this chapter? You need to understand this. So what you need to do, when a subject starts, take the printout of the syllabus of the recent notification, last notification, keep with you, and when the class is going on, keep on checking whether anything is taught extra, anything is taught insufficient. If yes, you have to take care of that. Similarly, also keep on checking time to time whether this chapter which is going on in the class has been asked frequently or once a while. If it is frequently, there is high probability of repetition. So you have to put more energy and focus. So start making your study focused to exam. You completely follow what the examiner wants. I am not here for research. I am here just to get selected. If I do it, that is good enough. For research, I have another time to do it later. Right. Now you need to understand your level. Suppose in college you have done study very well and you are good in mathematics, you are good in the strength of material, but you are poor in production, you are poor in material science, you are not good in English. Then do you think that your same efforts are needed in all these subjects? No. If you are good in maths, you are already level is 50 and the examination requires only 100, then you have to uplift from 50 to 100 in maths. But what about the manufacturing, where your level is 10 and now you want to reach till 100? So do you think that same level of efforts will be needed in both the subjects? No. Level of efforts to be different. You must know where you stand. This boy is strong and this boy is weak. His efforts need more, his efforts may be less, and both may get the same rank. So the level of effort will depend on myself, how much I need, and again will depend on which subject, how much effort. I need not necessarily to have the same effort in all the subjects, right? So identify yourself, find your weak areas, find your strong areas. If you are good in speed, then your focus will be on concepts and accuracy. If you are also good in speed and accuracy, then only focus on the concepts. If I am weak in all areas, then I have to focus on concepts, speed and accuracy all. So when I understand myself and I understand exam also, then I can make accordingly preparation. My preparation is not blind. I am focused to exam. I know my weaknesses, I know exam requirement, and then accordingly I am making efforts. So this is very important to understand these three things. Right? When you understand these three things, the second step what you are going to do is identify source of study. Identify source of study. Fine. In first step, you have understood syllabus, you know yourself, and you know the exam requirement. How to bridge this gap from 50 to 100 or 0 to 100 or 10 to 100? Which book? Whether I should read 5 books, 4 books, 2 books, or only one? I have to identify this. These are my sources. This is the best combination of the sources which will fulfill my requirement. Someone who has zero knowledge, he may start from very basics. Someone who has already the basic knowledge, he wants only advanced status. So the source of study again is different for different subject and different for different student. Few sources are common, which are mandatory. I can categorize the sources of study in two levels. One, mandatory sources, another advisory sources. Mandatory, when I talk, I can say one is class notes. Whatever you read in the class and whatever you have noted down, this is your most important and base of your preparation. Class notes, once you have joined here, it is our responsibility to take your level up to the exam level. You need to keep the faith on us. And I also make this commitment. Whatever we teach, it is exactly on the line of exam requirement. But class notes, time to time, are needed to strengthen. You need to make a value addition. And how? I will explain. Second is another source, which is workbook. Workbook contains practice questions which covers most of the variety. The basic idea is not that the same question will be repeated. The basic idea is the similar concept may be asked. And to clear the concepts, we have kept the selection of questions which covers different variety. The third important source is previous GATE or ESE or both questions. And for how many years? Not less than 15 years. So let us take from 2001 to 2018. Not less than this. The third is you have to face test. So test series, it may be online or offline. So you have to face test series. It may be online or offline. These are essential sources. But there are some advisory sources also. You may refer or may not, time to time. This is theory book, which is given to you. Or you may buy textbook, which you may buy or purchase. So do I need to buy 10 or 2 or 3 textbooks for one subject? I think no. Whether you will have this much time to read 5 books for one subject? Not possible. If you can do it for one subject, you can't do for all subjects. Better you read 3 times one book. Better you revise your notes 3 times. But don't try to read 5 different books for the same subject. Otherwise, you are reading nothing but the same thing in different language. You are not making value addition. How to make value addition, I can tell you. How to remember, how to recall, I can explain you. That is my task today. So theory book or textbook, you may also identify some online portals or video channels which can help you. Maybe for motivation or maybe for NPTEL lectures or maybe for some other things. So some online portals or channels. These are the other things which can help you. But these are not mandatory sources, these are advisory sources. Let me come here. What we do in the class notes. Class notes must be pictographic. Pictographic, I mean to say, write in a format which helps you in study. Somewhere diagram, somewhere underlining, somewhere highlighting, somewhere putting in box and writing important. Something which can be correlated. While in revision, you can come on to this conclusion that this is some few important things you have marked. And next time I don't have time to revise the entire, but I want to revise important. So only those things which you have marked or colored or highlighted, you pass, read and go ahead. So, pictographic. After completing one chapter, leave at least 2 blank pages for the future edition. And I advise to make the notes in the spiral format rather than using the register. So when you do this, you can make value additions later. And I can tell you. So let us say any subject, as I am taking the example of strength of material. Let us say the chapter number 2, and chapter number 2 is shear force and bending moment. This chapter is being taught in the class. After completing this chapter, what you will do? You will revise this chapter. It will take 2 to 3 days to complete one chapter maximum. Some chapters are small, may be completed in 1 day. So finish this chapter in 2 days, today and tomorrow, and let us say tomorrow evening you revised this chapter. After revising this chapter, you will attempt workbook and previous gate questions of chapter 2. So this is being done with the help of teachers, but now let us say you are solving the previous gate questions you are on, or ESE questions. So when you take, let us say from chapter 2 in last 15 years, there are 15 questions. For example, from chapter 2, or even maybe less than. So every time it may not be asked, sometime asked, not asked. 15 questions, out of 15, let us say 10 you are able to solve. How? You have attended the class today and tomorrow, you have revised the syllabus, those notes, attempted, and you have been able to solve out of 15, 10. Which are 5? Question number 3, question number 6, question number 8, question number 10, and question number 15. You are unable to solve. When you are unable to solve these 5, you should not leave as it is. You should not leave as it is. Make efforts to find the solution of these. So first what you will do, come back to your notes. Because you have read first time, so maybe something you are missing. But when you try to search the solution of this question, maybe a chance you don't get the solution in notes, but yes, this question is available in your class notes. This is also possible to be solved in class notes, but still are 3 questions which are not possible. If 3 questions cannot be solved, which are the previous gate questions or IES questions, and these are not possible to be solved by the class notes, what should I do? Now here comes the role of this textbook. So as I told, textbook is not required from page 1 to page last, as and when, just for value addition. So now you started searching question number 3. The book, it is strength of material, let us say it is B.Singh, or let us say it is Gary and Timoshenko, which is the best one. So question number 3 you found in page number 81 in Gary and Timoshenko, and third paragraph explains, so you have underlined or highlighted, and here you mentioned this is the question of GATE 2004. Then you mark this question in GATE book. Then question number 8 you are unable to solve. So you searched in the book, in same book, you found last paragraph of page number 88. And then this is the question of GATE 2006. And question 15 again you found page 97, and this is book, and this again underlined entire page, and let us say this is the question of GATE 2017. Now you see, these 3 questions you could not find in your notes. The coverage of the class note was not sufficient. However, out of the 15, you have done 12. But you should not leave these 3. So what you will do? You have underlined, highlighted in this book only 3 paragraphs. Now take those photos of these 3 paragraphs in your mobile. 1, 2, 3, and get it transferred through the mail. Take the printout and maybe 1 page or maybe 2 pages, and attach these 2 pages on the back side of chapter 2 in your class notes. Right? This is highlighted, very well mentioned, and you have attached on the back side of the chapter 2 in the class notes. This says value addition. Now if you read your class notes, solve any problem of GATE, done. Because all and everything is in the class notes. Right? Next time, or let us say after 3 months, when you will revise your class notes, after that you will only attempt question number 3, question number 8, and question number 15. That's all. If you have solved remaining 13 questions in first attempt, I'm sure you will be able to solve in second attempt. So I need to attempt only 3, 8, and 15. Will you do it or not? because this is already in the notes. So second time you will take done, and but this here still you find difficulty. Now this is the only question before gate exam which you have to see. Remaining questions you don't need to see before exam. Already in the notes. What you will see? Notes. Clear or not? Same thing you have to do in the workbook. When the teacher is discussing workbook and you find this is difficult question, this has some special trick, mark that. Because this is the question which you would like to revise later in the life, before the gate exam. So develop this habit of elimination. What elimination? Easy questions eliminated and only difficult questions marked. Right? Value addition. Whenever you read new question set, whenever you attempt new set of questions and you find 10% questions are unsolved, search those solutions in different books or internet. Find the solution, take printout, attach in the book. This is mandatory. Right? So this approach you have to adopt. So what is the need of book? The reference. When I am unable to get the solution in my class notes, then I refer the book. And I find to search on the solution of those questions. There is no need to read each and every point of the book. That's not required. And even you read, you are wasting time because that is already in your notes. Right? So follow this approach, and this is how you will maximize your efforts. You will maximize your efforts. Now, I'm telling you the next step. Step number 3. This was first, then second, and now third. Once you have identified the source of study, you have developed the habit of reading like this, then what you need to do, number 3, you have to plan your study. Planning is something which makes you different. Plan your study properly. And I classify 3 levels. Level 1 plan, level 2 plan, level 3 plan. Level 1 is an overall plan. This overall plan, you need to prepare for the next 6 months. If you are writing the GATE and IES 2019 in the month of January and February, so whole plan till then. So I am not going to home. I will not visit my hometown every week, first of thing. I will go only once or twice before that. And what other exams I am going to write, you just think of. Where is your main focus, GATE or ESE? Define. You want to write both? Fine. Target both. If you have focus on GATE, target GATE. So do this exercise. What is your prime aim? Then read the syllabus and go this first step, and then go for the second. Second is the most important. It is a subject-wise plan. Subject-wise plan will make you different for each subject. Nowadays, manufacturing engineering is going on, which is more theoretical, where you need to read the more theory, you need to remember, you need to revise, you need to learn. But after some time, mathematics starts, which is more conceptual. There you need to solve problems. So in mathematics, you will be required to solve previous instrumentation, PI, electrical, computer science also. And you don't need any book. You need only concepts which are clear in class, and only you need to solve the problems. Whereas in mechanical production topic, you need more theoretical approach. You need to remember, you need to revise, you need to recall. So do you think that the approach is same in both these subjects? Not at all. English altogether will have different approach. Industrial will have different approach. When you come to the machine design, very different approach. So every subject has a different approach. Understand the exam. Which subject requires what kind of approach, and within the subject which topic is important, which is less important. Focus to that. Start a study. So this may be a 2-week planning. Normally one subject will continue for 2 weeks, maybe maximum 3 weeks. So this may be a maximum of 2 to 3 weeks planning. For those 2 to 3 weeks, you will identify what is the source of study, how many hours I will study at home, and when I will revise this, when I want to revise again and again, and how many years questions I have to solve, and to whom I will discuss doubt, whether I need group study or not, depends. For English, you don't need group study. For mathematics, you may require to discuss the doubts. So it depends on the nature of subject and also depends your caliber. So subject-wise plan has to be developed every week or every alternate week. This is going to my this plan. And the most important is this, which is daily plan. There is a very common problem to all human beings because we are not machine, we are human beings. Anything which you store in mobile is recorded with 100% perfection. In laptop is stored 100%. You can take each and every aspect of it which you have stored. But what about you? If you read one thing, can you remember each and everything? Not possible. Either we remember partially, otherwise we don't remember anything. But when we see, there are some events which we retain and remember more. Or there are some people who do not forget easily and others forget easily. Or myself, in some cases I remember, but in other cases I don't. Let me examine why. Why it happens? You have seen a movie and you remember the entire script. You can visualize the choreography. You can also tell this entire story to your friend. But on the other hand, a topic which you have studied yesterday in the book and you are not able to tell to the friends. There is a difference. If we explore the reason, if we find and investigate the cause, we can find the solution. If you do a work after deactivating the senses of mind, then you will retain. But if you study without prior instruction to the mind, you will not remember. Right? So you have the made the workbook. Can you show me? Right. All of you have this. Agree or not? Can you tell me, in the last page, the mention is the corporate office address. Can you tell me the corporate office address? Don't tell me qualifier. Tell me number. Tell me the mobile number, which is mentioned here. Nahi yaad hai. And every day you carry. There will be many of you who don't remember your own phone number. May not be all, but some of you. Right? And when you come to this floor, you come from first floor to second, second to third, third to fourth. Can you tell me how many steps are there between two floors? You cross every day, but you don't remember. In your neighborhood, uncle and auntie, they have car, they have bike. And every day you see he takes out his car and he goes to office and you see every day, but can you tell me the four digit number of that car? No. Sometimes you come with your friend and the bike is not yours, it is the bike is of your friend, but you don't remember that number of bike and you come every day. This is the several cases when you don't remember. There is reason. And let me take another example. You have your bike or car. Now you are driving and some other bike or car hits you. And when it has harmed you, now you have given instruction to the mind. What is the number of that car? When you saw that number, the car driver escaped. But you still saw the number in the car. You saw Skoda, black color, and the number is this. So you wrote a complaint and give it to the SHO. If this car is Skoda driving near this metro station and that hit my car and I am injured, I want recovery. So you have interest to get something out of that. Either punishment to him or financial compensation to you. So you remember that number, but it is India. Action will not happen immediately. After a few months, you will get a call. Yes, that car driver is identified. Caught. Can you come and identify he is same? So that time is 2 years later. So you went and you saw black and same number. You will identify, yes, it is the same number. It is the same person, same car. And on that day, you misbehaved with me. And today is my day. Why? only once, you remember till 2 years or even for whole life. And the other case, you saw your neighbor daily but you don't remember. The reason is very simple. Why you should remember this phone number? What is the need? If at all it is required, you will turn the page, you will see the number, you will dial. Today you don't remember the number of your parents, don't remember the phone number of your friends, because you have stored. You know that it is there in the mobile. But when we used to study, there was no mobile phone. We used to remember all the phone numbers. 10, 15, 20 सभी numbers याद होते थे. And we used to recall and dial. And today, I don't remember even myself. The reason, I don't need. So when this is a concern, I don't need. Why I am concerned? I don't have any concern with the vehicle of my neighbor. I am not concerned, so I don't remember. When you come to this floor, you don't have any concern of reading the number of steps, so you don't know. So when there is a concern, when there is a impact, then you will remember. If you have concern, then you will instruct to the mind, yes, this is important. When there is a instruction to the mind, it is important, then you will remember. If it is not important, you will not remember. So prior instruction to the mind activates the senses. And these activated senses are the reason to remember and recall and store. So if you start doing this activity daily, give the instruction for study, and give a very strong instruction to do this work at this time, you will do that work at that time, guaranteed. I can tell you the today's example. I wanted to come here, Hyderabad. I planned yesterday. Morning, my flight was 6:30 departure. I was supposed to reach 5:30 at airport. And I was supposed to start 5 o'clock from my house. And for that I need to get up at 4 o'clock. Yesterday I thought I will get up at 4 o'clock, start at 5 o'clock, reach at 6 o'clock and catch the flight at 6:30. Right? So yesterday itself I packed the entire baggage. 2 sets of clothes for 2 days. And this and that. All the things I packed on the bag and kept ready. Gave instruction to my driver to come at sharp 5 o'clock, we will start from house. And I put alarm at 4 o'clock in my mobile. And believe this is fact. When I was in washroom, that was the ringing time of alarm. 5 minutes before the alarm, I was awake. Get up automatically. How? Instruction. To whom? Myself. I gave this instruction to my mind to get up at 5 o'clock. For that strong instruction, even the support of machinery, mobile, for the alarm, but that was not needed. You can apply this. When your gate exam is the next day. So today you will think of, my exam is 9:30 to 12:30. So I want to get up at 6 o'clock today. Because it will take 2 hours to go to the Koti, my center is in Koti. And you put alarm. You call to your parents, Mama, tomorrow you please call me at 5 o'clock. I want to get up at 5 o'clock. And also alarm at 5 o'clock. And remember, 90% of you will not require alarm. Because you have given so strong message to your mind, 5 o'clock I have to get up. And then you will think what I will carry. Admit card, pen, pencil, eraser, and each and everything you will take out yesterday itself. Put in the table because this is essential. And you think that the exam 9:30 to 12:30 gate is very essential. Right? So you think I will sleep today early. You will lay down. 90% as I told you will not require alarm. That is fact. But you must be thinking only 10% को तो फिर भी चाहिए ना? नहीं चाहिए. 10% are those who have not slept whole night because of that intense tension. So the instruction acts. That is what happens in machine. Atom bomb. When you have a time bomb, you have given instruction. You have activated in machine. At this time, blast. So that is activated. So that you can do in your human also, in your mind. This is instruction. So any instruction which you will give, strong instruction, that will act. When you act, after the thinking, this will convert in retention. So you think, then act. If you think, then act, then that action will retain in the mind. Can I take the example of movie? Everyone watches movie? I'm sure that I know. So you have seen 3 Idiots? 100%? Okay. You have seen PK? Yes? Okay, tell me, when Amir Khan came from space, what he was wearing? Tell me? Eh? Locket. What was the color of locket? Blue. Are you sure? 100%. Fine. What happens to locket? It's stolen by. So when the thief was running, so what was the vehicle on which he escaped? Train. Okay. Tell me, which was the train? Freight train or the passenger train? Right, goods train. It was goods train. Goods train. What? A perfection. What was the shape of ears of the Amir Khan? Can you remember? Fine. Can you tell what was the hairstyle of Anushka Sharma? Can you tell me? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Anushka Sharma decided to marry a boy. He was from which country? Oh, great. Pakistan. Nobody tells Belgium. Nobody tells Bangladesh. Once someone handed over a animal to Anushka Sharma. Which was that animal?
Cat.
Cat. Which color?
White.
Oh my God. You have seen this movie once or several times? Once. How many years back?
2 years back.
3-4 years back. Once. And you remember each and everything minutely. Now tell me, in your final year of B.Tech, when someone was teaching the production, what was his dress? Okay, tell me any formula which he was teaching. No. Nothing, you don't remember. See the difference. One event, you remember each and everything with sequence, with the script, with any kind of the choreography, each and everything. Right? And the other, not. And let us understand the reason. The reason is that movie was popular, famous in social media, so also you decided to watch. You decided to watch this movie with interest. So you thought we will go together. So you decided, let us go 4 people. 2 from this side, 2 from this side. Decided to 4 people. Then you decided on Sunday. And you thought of to watch in 6 to 9. Where? In this theater. 6 to 9. Book the ticket. And internally you thought, who will sit this side and go this side? So mentally and physically involved yourself for watching movie. When you reached on time, and you never missed the movie, you reached on time. When you reached on time, first of all, there is no mobile. Means no ring. But if someone calls you, I am in class, don't talk to me now. So what do you say? I am in class. However, you are watching movie. Some phone call comes, disconnected. Flight mode. Anybody came out of the movie theater and talked to someone and came back? I think no one. Nobody entertains this. So the reason is that you isolated from the surrounding other environment and involved in the one single environment. That is what? Movie. And when you watch the movie physically, mentally, emotionally, you are attached. And when the movie completed, you came out. Anybody talked about GATE immediately? IES, made easy, strength of material, any problem? No. Each and everyone is talking and discussing about that movie. Action, theater, dance, drama, right? So, action. So, that became a permanent in your mind. The reason of that movie to get stored permanently is emotionally, mentally, and physically you are involved. You activated the senses of mind before doing this act, and you completed the process. That was the reason it is stored full and permanent. If we do this in a study, you can retain, I'm sure. What you need to do? Think 10 minutes daily for the tomorrow activity. That is what I did yesterday. I wanted to come at this time, get up this time. I have decided to take your lecture. I also thought I will discuss this. That is why I am discussing this. So when I thought and then I am acting, this is perfection. I remember what I thought and what I am doing. So if you plan today what I need to study tomorrow, and you do accordingly. So think today, late evening, 10 minutes for the tomorrow, complete 24 hours from today evening to tomorrow evening. And when you will schedule yourself, I will sleep at 11 o'clock, I will get up at 6 o'clock, my class timings are from 9, so 6 to 9 is free, so I will use 2 hours study, and then I will get set ready in 1 hour, breakfast and everything, then I will come for class, 9 to 3 class, after 3 o'clock I will go back, then I will do this, then I will study this. Morning 9 to 11, morning 7 to 9, I have the time of study one slot. So you decide today what you will study. Let us say you decided I will study thermodynamics. What I will study? First law. From which book? P.K. Nag. Given instruction, so take out P.K. Nag, put onto the table. This is given instruction, first law you have to study. Right? I will get up at 4:30, or if you want to study 7 to 9, I will get up at 6:30. So put the alarm at 6:30. Right? Then schedule your time. When you will schedule, you will find lot of free time in bits and pieces, which normally you use or you waste. After going from here, there is no pre-plan. So you either you are talking to your friends, or you are moving slow, or you are walking slowly. Dinner which could be completed in 30 minutes, today you have taken 45 minutes, because you have not fixed the next activity. So when you are free, you are doing with freedom. There is no time limit. But when you fix the time limit, you will finish in that time. That is what happens when we write the exam. So, when you fix, let us say today you have given instruction, tomorrow 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock thermodynamics, that too for first law. Now isolate yourself from the other things. Keep your mobile switched off, or keep your mobile in flight mode. Get up at 6:30. Automatically your mindset will be towards thermodynamics. And you have no other thought, so you won't take out the book of Som, you will not start reading newspaper, because you have decided yesterday to read the thermodynamics. So you will start reading thermodynamics. Till 2 hours, your mind will not divert. But beyond 2 hours, mind will change, because that is without instruction. Clear? So, if you cannot concentrate for longer period, make short spells. If you can concentrate for 2 hours, make 2 hours spell. Study, close the book, open the mobile, talk to your friends. No problem. It will be stored permanently and you will retain it. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. What happens? First of all, no plan today. You moved, went back, took lunch, dinner, talked to your friends, then you decided to sleep, slept, without any decision for tomorrow what to do. And fortunately you got up at 6 o'clock. What should I do? So you think, what should I do? What should I do? So you found the thermodynamics first law. So you got, okay P.K. now come on, I want to read you. So you opened first law, I started reading. So you are reading first law of thermodynamics. Right? But your mobile is on. So by that time it is 7 o'clock. Then other friends are awake. So you will receive a message, a phone. Problem is not a message. Problem is the source of message. And you think if I don't reply this message in next 30 seconds, opportunity gone. Do someone else. So you immediately come. Right? So initially you are reading thermodynamics, that too without prior planning and without activating the senses of mind. Now you are involved in the process of reply of message, talking. Then you took the phone, came out of the room, talking, discussing, and went back. By that time, this first law of thermodynamics becomes zero law. passed out, scrapped out. You don't remember what you have studied. This happens unknowingly. We do not understand, but this is the main reason behind we study, but still we don't remember. So from now onward, you have to change. What you have to do, you have to think and act. You have to plan 10 minutes for the next day schedule. And if you cannot fulfill the next day, for the next to next day, modify your plan. And try to implement a modified version with the perfection. Whenever you get free time, take out that time for a study. When you will freeze this time, you know, 4 hours I will be, 6 hours I will be in class, and 2 hours I will be in self-study. Definitely any friend, any relative, any person says, I want to meet and come to your house, you will definitely say, don't come in this period, because here I will be in class and in this period I will be in study. So come at 7 o'clock in the night, because you know yourself. But if you have not scheduled to your time, so you will say, okay, come whenever you feel free. So he or she will come on that time and you are wasting your time. So this happens on routine basis. I never say come and meet me anytime between this to this. I always say come at 4 o'clock. And I know he will come at 4 o'clock, maybe 10-15 plus or minus. And I want to make myself available for that. That's all. If I say come tomorrow, between morning 10 to evening 6, I never know when he will come or she will come. So always it is better to freeze the time. This exercise you have to do for the next 6 months. And thereafter, continue for whole life. If you find it fruitful, what I am doing whole life. What I do every day, only 10 minutes for tomorrow. I don't need to write anywhere. Before going into bed, I just recall what are the important things for tomorrow, at which time, what is sequence, and what to do. Do it. So this will change. This will change your efficiency of learning, right? So this is the third step. Now, one thing which we have been talking every time, concern. If you have concern, you will activate the senses of mind. If you feel affected, you will give instruction to the mind. But if you have no concern, no effect, adverse or positive, you will not give instruction to the mind. Why should I remember these steps? Because that is not big issue. But if I tell today that this question can be asked in the interview, how many steps are there in this flow? Then you will remember. Interview question. It can be asked. So you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it must be more than 9. Clear or not? Let me tell you the fundamental things. If I allow you to guess between two floors, what will be number of steps? Can you tell me? If I allow you to guess. 20? 22. Okay, 25. Anyone says 40? 10? 11? I don't know. But I can tell you the rule. Normally the floor height, your height and floor height. So what will be the floor height? Around 12 feet? 11 to 12 feet? 11 to 12 feet. Approximately the height of one step is 7 inches. So 12 feet divided by 0.7 inches, you get the number of steps, approximately. Maybe plus minus 1 or 2. So if there is a guess, there is calculated guess. Right? This is called intelligent guess. If you have option, this is 15, 21, 25 or 30 and this is objective question, I can identify the answer will be 21. According to this rule. Right? So, we need to apply the mindset. Activate the mindset for study. For that we need concern. Let us develop the concern. So the fourth is how to develop concern. Fourth is develop support group. Support group and study environment. One is the study environment. I will explain this. You need to form the group of friends. You will say, friends? I have so many. But only 2 to 4. Don't make cricket team. And every Sunday you will be on the cricket ground. Parents are also the part of this team, support group. Some teachers also can be the part of this team. Some online portals can also be the part of this. Your environment, your friends, parents, teachers, and online portals, if any. This is your support group which helps in the selection. Now what you have to do, change the environment. You have this workbook here. I can take any book which you have. In this book, you can see in every book there is a page which contains successful candidates selected from ADG in GATE and IES. Why? There is a logic behind it. You have already taken admission. We have taken fees from you. I know that now you are not going to pay again. But still there is something which can inspire you. The idea is to create the learning environment, to talk about those students, to talk about the selections, to talk about the ranks. So you come to know, yes, from ADG last year got selected, I have also the chance. The basic idea is to get inspiration. Right? When you attend a political party, let us say a rally taken by the Modi ji, so everyone will talk about politics. Anybody will talk there about GATE? IES? No. And what about here? Nobody will talk about the politics and Modi ji and YSR or the KCR. Each and everyone is focused on the exam. I am talking about the GATE, IES, civil service, engineering services. The reason is that environment is that. Surrounding environment changes the mind. The environment is definitely an influential factor which changes the mind. People say mind was, not vice, mind was. Mind was. A common man converted into a terrorist by mind was. This is the environment. A common person can be the topper with the help of continuous motivation. It's possible, right? So now you have to develop self-motivation. You have to create a learning environment. So in your room, if your partner is not preparing for the GATE and IES, he or she is having the different thought process and you don't have the good relations. Every day you switch on the fan and your partner switch off. You read in day, he reads at night. So you switch on, he switch off. Change. Either room or partner, provided you are not married. Excuse if you are married. Right? Similar-minded people sailing in the same boat. You know, this year in CLAT, rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, all India, all 3 candidates were the 3-room partners. When I was preparing in 1993-94 for IIT JEE, we were 4 friends in one CLAT. And all were selected with the maximum difference of rank 12. In between of us, there was a difference of rank 12. In IIT JEE, all 4 selected. We didn't cheat. So this is companion of success. You succeed, your friend also succeed. You have that category of friends who help you. You help them, you teach them, you learn from them. Right? So that kind of the friend circle is required. Parents, because sometimes you are under pressure. You need support. You need money. And for that, you need to talk to parents. You need their supports. Teachers will guide you. Either you are approaching through the mail, through the Facebook, through the WhatsApp, or sometimes through the messenger. Interact. Out of 10 times, 5 times you may get something good. You talk to the seniors who are selected. Read their reviews. Read their videos. Watch their videos. Learn something new. Online portals for that. And the one poster which you have in your room, remove. Remove that poster. I don't say permanently, but at least for the next 6 months. I know you have. But put another poster. This time, this poster is not a small one. Don't put in A4 page. Not even A3. Maybe minimum A2 or A1. And a very beautiful photo. किसका फोटो लगाओगे? A person to whom you love and like maximum. You want to see this person at the top. You really are having concern with whom? Yes, correct answer. This is your. I was talking to a civil guy. He says, "Sir, what about Dhoni?" I said, "You want to become wicket keeper? Then why you are preparing for game?" Right. This is your photo. Smiling and beautiful photo. I say handsome. Below this, mission. And remember, it is your, not Modi's mission. Modi's mission is 272 plus. Yours is top 200 in gate. His mission is different. Yours is different. So put your mission. So here you write gate. 2019. This is important. And top 200. Okay or not? Right. If you cannot do 300 fine, 400 fine, 1000 fine. Let us say, okay, I can take it top 500. I also have a mission of ESE. Maybe 2019 again, selection. First of all, you will say, me? An IES. There's a gate. 500. No. So initially, you may be surprised. For me, 500. Okay? Don't worry. Your room partner will come after some time. Your friends will come. Two. और गेट पे टॉप 500. अगर तेरा गेट में टॉप 500 में आ गया, तेरा रूम छोड़ दूंगा. And he will take photo. Viral in this group. So you will become public figure. Now you think I am public figure. My aim and my mission is known to everyone. And that is how the pressure starts building up. A concern starts. Now I am a public figure. So if I don't perform, what I will reply to myself, to my parents, to my relatives or my friends. And when you see this daily in your room, initially for a few days you may not be serious. But after a week or 10 days you will become serious about it. Right? You will be really serious about it when you see daily. Right? If at home you go and every day your father says you are doing wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, on 11th day you will stop. This is wrong. So every day when you see top 500, I have to see, I have to do, then one day you will start doing. Once you believe, I can do, that is final. Now you will do. So once you believe I have to do this and I can do this, now you act. You will increase your reading time, you will increase your concentration level, you will start making more efforts. And now you think top 500 mechanical means minimum 75 marks in gate. So your target is minimum 75 marks in gate, maybe 80 also. And at present your level is 30, 40 and you want to reach at 75. how much efforts are needed. Now let us evaluate efforts. Right? So this is number 4. Then number 5 is revision plan. If you think you will get lot of free time after the completion of syllabus before the gate or IES, not possible. Syllabus is very huge, wide, and we need to cover from 0 to 100 all the basics and advanced. We cannot escape, and if we escape, that is more dangerous. So better that we ask you to come for the long hours rather than we ask you to escape the topics. So 1200 hours when we have to cover, it takes time. It may go syllabus up to November end, may go after the first week of December. It may go, I don't know. Depends how much you give time. So you don't have that much time to revise the syllabus at the end. And this is the biggest mistake students make. They think I will revise later. They think I will do later. But when there is only 30 days left and this much huge syllabus to revise, now you surrender. This year I can't do, so I will do next year. So that stage should not develop. Start revising from now. And there are 2 ways for revision: regular and random. Random matlab as and when time available. Today your class is scheduled at 8 o'clock, but you reach the classroom at 7:30. What you have decided for 30 minutes. Lunch time is 45 minutes, but you consume your lunch only 15 minutes. What do you do for the next 30 minutes? When you go from class to home, then before you take the dinner, you have 1 hour. What do you do in that free time of 1 hour? So sometimes there can be bits and pieces of time, and that bits and pieces of time, how we can effectively utilize, we can put in revision. How? When one subject is completed, let us say chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 and last chapter is completed. On the day of last chapter, you are supposed to revise all the chapters. When you revise all the chapters, keep one blank paper on the right hand side. When you are revising, you know this formula I don't remember. This is complex, this is difficult, this is principal stress formula. Right. Only formula. Then you come across this principal strain theory, I know, but maximum shear strain energy theory I don't know, so this formula you write. Torsion formula you write. Like this, the most complex formulae and most difficult values, and you think this is most important thing, you note down in that. This is how much? Only and only 2 pages, the entire strength of material filtered and difficult things in 2 pages. Take photo of these 2 pages, store in your mobile gallery. Similarly, when you are solving previous year salt papers or test series, if you find if these 2 questions you cannot solve, then click those photos, store in mobile, and when you meet to teacher, get the answer. Top. When you have come today early, you have 30 minutes time left, open mobile, revise those micro notes, which are most complex formulae of strength of material. When you are going back to your home and you are in Ola or you are in taxi, so you can just get involved yourself in mobile and revise those notes. Today when I was coming to Hyderabad, I was in flight and it was 2 hours free time in flight. I just went to read my notes which were written in mobile. Images also, I just checked. That is how this mobile can be used as a tool for study. These bits and pieces of time you can utilize in random revision. The second, daily time of study, divide in 2 categories. If you don't have time for revision, minimize the other activities. Reduce, cut down your time of visiting places, going home, parties, celebrations. Let us concentrate for study for the next 6 months. I don't say that you Don't go to watch movies, don't go for the playing cricket, and don't watch the matches and don't read newspaper. No, you do it. But plan it. If only half an hour reading newspaper is required, don't waste 2 hours. If I can see only highlights, why should I watch the entire test match? So this is only discipline needed. I don't say you don't do this. You be updated, you watch things, you do things, but minimize. And only 6 months. In the entire life, this period of life is for you. If you give this time for you, you consolidate yourself, you strengthen yourself, then I'm sure you will achieve that benchmark from where you can fly the kite. Have you tried ever to fly the kite? It will only be possible when you are on the roof, not when you are in your bedroom or in the ground. Always you need that height. So once you generate that level of knowledge by consolidating yourself in this 6 months, and then after you start any career, whether it is engineering service, GATE, PSU, SSC or anywhere, you will reach further and further at great levels. So this time is consolidation time. Regular revision has to be done right from now. So if you read 4 hours in a day at home, give 1.5 hours in revision and 2.5 hours in next subject. But when this time comes in October, give 50% here, 50% there. When you have reached in November, December, give 70%, give 30%. When January, you give 100% in revision. No time for the other subject. So gradually move more towards the revision. While revising, what is the base? Class notes. Class notes are the value addition. So when you revise, after revision, attempt the question. When you find new question which you cannot attempt, refer to textbook. Anything which you found new in textbook, make value addition in the notes by the same process which I told you earlier. Every time you go to the new source of study, every time you found something new, take photo, take printout, attach in the notes. Your notes is Bible. That is encyclopedia. You don't need too many books to keep with you. You need only your notes to keep with you. Mark something in the... When you are solving the problems from any source, let us say from a book, solved examples you want to solve. So you don't need to solve example number 1 to example 30. What you have to check? Which are questions different than what I have been discussed in class by the teacher. So if the teacher has discussed some questions, so you find some similar, some different. So only different questions you mark and attempt only different questions. Don't attempt similar questions. They are already in the notes, which you revise and read time to time. Clear or not? Some questions involve steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Such standard questions you underline, because these steps you need to remember and recall for future. So give special attention to revise such questions which explain all these steps, right? So this is how we make ourselves different than others. Revision is very important. Then number 6 is evaluation. Self-evaluation. You have to evaluate yourself. After revising, appear in test, whether online or class test, but with the proper revision. If you appear in test without plan and revision, you will be frustrated. Your performance will be less. You will not be able to judge your skills. Revision has to be done after preparation. Revision for a test has to be done after the revision. Evaluation, let us say you are writing online test series and this is test number 1. If it is 1.5 hours, exactly in 90 minutes attempt. Keep away your mobile phone. And in the similar exam-like environment, give the test, submit the test, and now read the feedback. If it is online test and you get the feedback, what feedback? Let us say this is test 1. Subject is strength of material. Date of subject is 14th of August 2018. This is summary in this page. What you write? Your marks. Let us say you got marks 51 out of 100. Unattempted questions. Out of 50 questions in the paper, you could not attempt 8. Wrong questions means wrong answers. 4 answers were wrong. You marked A, but correct was B. But these are when you made mistake, either silly or blunder. Then weak areas. You could not attempt the questions of, let us say, principal stress, let us say, pressure vessels, let us say, torsion. These are your weak areas, because these areas you could not solve. Right? Then speed is your low speed. This is your drawback. So what you did, you identified this, and this is your vision. Below this, paste this sheet. Text 1. These are findings. When after 10 days you are going for test 2, just have a look on this. I could not attempt 8 questions out of 15. It means my speed was less. I made mistake 4. Accuracy is less. I could not solve the questions. My concepts were weak. So next test, when you want to appear with the better preparation, let us say this time this subject is thermodynamics, you made your better efforts, you scored 60 marks. And this time only 3 questions or 4 were unattempted. Keep on tracking your performance and keep on pasting the sheet of each performance. And observe how this graph is going up or down. Your target is 80 marks, but as of now you are at 60. You have to reach 80. This is your target. So you have seen the bhag dil ka bhag. You have seen several actions which are done with perfection. That is only after rehearsal. If you make this rehearsal with the concern to improve yourself, with the efforts of previous weaknesses, you will improve gradually. But if you don't record, you have appeared in test, you don't bother what is my rank, what are my marks and what are my weakness, then this will repeat. Next time again you will repeat. Every time you will repeat, but you will not improvise. So this is very important of tracking myself in what is my performance and what is happening, whether I am improving or not. So you need to track yourself. This is very important. Right? And one more thing. The difficult questions which you could not attempt or which you found difficult, bookmark. After bookmarking, search in your notes or search in your textbook. If you find new concept which is not known to you, again, photo, print out, attached to the class notes. That is how, at the end, if you revise class notes, everything is revised. Agree, my friends? So this is step number 6. Before your GATE exam, at least 1 month before, you will get your admit card. And when you get your admit card, you will come to know what is your time. Is it forenoon session or it is afternoon session? If it is forenoon session, or let us say afternoon session 2 to 5, then last few tests you have to give exactly in the same time 2 to 5. Start your test at 2 o'clock and finish your test at 5 o'clock, which is what is going to happen in exam. If you give the test in late night 1 o'clock and finish at 4 o'clock in the morning, that is different state of mind. You will not be able to judge yourself in that level. So if I appear in the test with a similar mindset in the same time frame, I will evaluate better. So last few tests have to be a exact rehearsal on the same line with virtual calculator, with the mindset of exam. And if in MADEG you are scoring the rank in top 50, guaranteed you will be in top 50 in GATE. Maybe 2%, 4% variation, not much. If you are getting 70 marks, in GATE you will get 75 marks or even 80 marks. Because MADEG test you are writing 15 days or 1 month before the exam. And in last 15 days or 1 month, there will be lot many value additions. And your performance will increase, your preparation will be better. You will perform better. MADEG test series is very scientifically designed. We have a very good team which makes the paper. Very good team. It consists of the previous year top rankers, it consists of our teachers, it consists of the professors from the reputed colleges. They all give the questions. We frame the test series. And then 1 or 2 biased research scholars, they will solve. Whether we can do it in 2 hours or 3 hours or not. If they can't do, some questions are made easier. If they can score 80% maximum, nobody will be able to score 100%. So you need to attempt this test series, and there are enough number of tests. You don't need to buy and need to go here and there for the others. Focus on that one. If you want more, you can enroll for the previous year test series also. But start from now. The number of tests are too many. You will not be able to finish the last 3 months. Start from now. Start evaluating yourself. Develop the habit of writing this transcript of your evaluation and attach in your room. Put it and observe how the things are changing, whether you are improving or not. Once you develop this approach and this kind of the concern within you, you will automatically improve yourself. Then you are tracking yourself. Then you are motivating yourself. You are inspiring yourself. I guarantee if I take any one of you randomly and I force you to do this, and if you do that, you will be in top 10. Anyone, all of you deserve. There is no any person who is not fit. I know many boys who came in MADEG with only one aim to qualify GATE, but they became top 10 rankers. There are several examples. Every year only MADEG students are getting selected in top ranks. And not only in top, in most of the ranks, because you become different. Our methodology of teaching, content of teaching and the study material is good enough. Every year we modify. MADEG team is really a wonderful team. Right? So please move with this and plan yourself. Always, whenever you get a chance to interact with the toppers, rankers, selected candidates, discuss. Watch their videos, you will find something new. They are the people who have succeeded. They have done something different. So that will definitely help you time to time. Right? Once your exam is over, after that exam is over, one day, just after exam, analyze yourself. Check what was my target and where I am there. If you are near about, good. If due to certain reason performance is not good, take a judgment, take a decision. Okay, what should be my next year's plan? If you decide to take admission in MTech and NIT, fine. IIT, fine. PSU's got, very good. IES selected, absolutely good. But if it doesn't happen by chance, don't worry. Evaluate and improve. And first identify the weak areas within you. Identify the topics which made you trouble and attack on the weak and grey areas first. You should not improve again these strong areas. They are already strong. Improve first the weak areas. And when you feel, yes, now these areas are also okay. Out of the strength of material, this year you could not do deflection properly, and deflection question came. Next year, the first target is to let us rectify this weakness. Improve, reattempt, may take another 6 months or 1 year, but that's enough. Knowledge is a most important tool of success of life. Confidence automatically will come when you have knowledge. Without knowledge, what is the use of confidence? When you have knowledge, when you have confidence, you can perform in any exam. There are many students of MADG who are now civil servant. Initially they succeeded in GATE, they succeeded in IES, they succeeded now in civil services. Thank you everybody, wish you all the best. Best of luck.